Hello, right, I did actually say I was going to finish work right now, but I really want to do a new video for you because I've done a Q&A. So here we are. And if you saw in the past video, I attempted to do a Q&A and rambled for like 12 minutes straight about one particular question. So I thought I would do a little quick fire for you of a Q&A. Number one, steps are always 25k because of work. What can I do to help recovery? Best thing is don't stress. So I think that we really need to pay attention to our exercise and our movement that we're doing that we can actually control. So if you're doing 25k steps because you're going for a walk every day, I think that's very different to if you're a nurse or whatever and you're on your feet and you're doing 25k steps a day. I think that's very different, and I think it's important that we don't stop our lives and we don't worry about our day-to-day lives when it comes to recovery. So your big thing here, if you are doing lots of steps based on work or you're having to do lots of movement based on work, is making sure you're fueling for it. And then outside of work, making sure that you're really focused on recovery. So, you know, like rest, recover, have lots of baths, really try to relax, really try to de-stress, and then making sure you're fueling for yourself, even if that means you're drinking your calories while on shift or while moving around, that kind of thing. But don't stress about day-to-day lives. HA recovery is all about getting our lives back rather than trying to destroy the rest of our lives, you know. How to help bad digestion from upping calories. I would say eat more calorie dense foods than volume foods. So we find that, you know, if we're eating every few hours and we're increasing our calories, it can feel really uncomfortable, and it can take a while for our digestion to catch up with us. If you think that when we're in low energy availability, what happens is that our bodies will shift the energy to things that it needs. It will always prioritize movement. So for example, we're moving around quite a bit and we're not fueling ourselves, well, the little energy that we are giving our bodies, it will go straight, it will be used within movement, and it will shut down our periods and it will slow down our digestion, because we don't need a period and we don't need really good digestion to stay alive. So when we start to increase those calories, it can take a while for our digestion to like speed up a little bit more. So give it time, but also really focus on those calorie dense foods. So things like nuts, seeds, you know, eating good carbohydrates, that, you know, rice cooked in like an olive oil or something like that, just to help try. And peanut butter is a banging one. Peanut butter on toast with jam. It's quite easy to actually get quite big calorie meals in like small volumes. So whether that is a loaded sandwich with like hummus in and roasted vegetables drizzled in oil and falafel and stuff like that, all in a sandwich, or if you eat meat, then it's like the really like fatty meats, can all help increase your calories and obviously help that digestion a little bit more. But other things like de-stressing will really help your digestion, and really focus on like getting enough sleep, reducing lots of stimulants. So caffeine and stuff can irritate the gut, so maybe that might help, and not eating too close, not eating, like spreading your meals out throughout the day rather than just saving it for like big meals would be really beneficial. How do I reduce/stop exercising in HA recovery? I would start off really slow. So you would know really if you're doing a lot of exercise. My camera apparently is about to die. You would know if you're doing quite a bit, and you would know where you need to reduce. So what I would recommend is make sure you are having a rest day after one workout session. So say you work out on a Monday, you have a rest day on a Tuesday. I would also start looking and making sure that if you do quite a bit of walking or steps, you start viewing these as your workouts. So they need to be fueled. And if you are doing a workout one day and then going for like 25,000 steps the next day, that's a workout. So that's not a rest day. So really looking and taking your rest really seriously. I'd also look as well as if you are training quite a lot in cardio, could you swap some out for strength? If you strength train I can't get my words out, strength train quite heavy, could you reduce that volume? So rather than going for like 80 RPM, you go down to like a 60 or a 50. So it's all about reducing the intensity, but obviously do it in a way that you're able to manage. So you don't have to go all in straight away. You can take your time to change things and to slowly start to decrease. So I went from, you know, training training every single day in the gym, and then I went into lockdown, so then it was every single day but body weight, and then I was able to be like, okay, right, now I can do 4 days body weight, and then I got comfortable with that, and it was like, okay, now I can do 3 days body weight, 1 day yoga, and then I got comfortable with that, and then it was, do you know what I mean? I very slowly started to change things so I didn't freak myself out. But having said that, the faster you make the change, the quicker you are to recovery. I finally gained into a healthy BMI but lack motivation to change my body anymore. What do I do? Now, there is a misconception. Majority of people do need to increase their body weight when recovering from HA, but that you can also look at you need to look at your stress and your life as a whole. Is there anything else? So take the focus away from the body. What else can you do for your body? So rather than, you know, feeling like you have to change it all the time and focusing on that change and blah, blah, what can you do for it? So could you have more baths? Could you meditate? Could you educate yourself a little bit more on the food and the fuel you need? So when it comes to making those changes, you're a little bit more like backed up with it. Do you know what I mean? Could you have a day on the sofa instead of going for a walk? Could you reduce your work? So rather than feeling like waking up every day and your intention is to change your body, and that's where we get so overwhelmed and so consumed with how we look, could it be, okay, I'm doing this to get my period, what can I do it today to help me get my period back? And some days that's not increasing my food anymore, but that might be having a bath and having a really early night to help de-stress me, and other days it will be increasing your food. But I think as well it's really important that we look at our lives as a whole and be like, okay, I'm a healthy BMI, amazing, let's celebrate that and let's see how far we've come. But also, if we're so scared of that gaining weight, what are those areas of my life that I really need to focus on? And a lot of the time that is down to our self-worth. So we're putting a lot of our worth based on how we look. So I'd recommend maybe journaling through this, looking at different areas that you have achieved and you are an amazing person that is nothing to do with how you look, wearing clothes that actually fit you and make you feel good, reaching out to friends, journaling, meditating, that kind of thing. But also, like I said, just making sure that we are doing everything for recovery as a holistic thing, because as much as weight gain is a big part of it, it's only still a small part. So you want to look at like how much exercise you're doing, how much food you're fueling, and obviously how much you are de-stressing. Okay, I've spoken a lot today, guys. I've had 2 interviews and a podcast. I answered that one on the podcast, actually. Eating more, but feel bloated and a pot belly. Normal, yeah. Like I said earlier, it's really common. Just give yourself time for your digestion to kind of catch up, and try to eat more high calorie, higher like energy foods rather than like high volume. I'll answer this one actually, because I think this will help. I am scared to eat. I need to, as I'm very underweight, GP, etc. But when I eat, oh my god, I eat. Is extreme hunger normal, please? I'm scared I will be the size of a house in days. Now, it's really, really common when we are going through HA. All we ever do, battery exhausted.